Hey everyone, welcome back. I know it's been forever since my last video, but I haven't really been inspired to make anything. Nothing really like shareable happened that I felt, you know, like sharing with the YouTube world just yet. So I've been kind of laying low and, you know, going to school and taking my classes and stuff. But I thought I would make this video because, as you all know, I am very much into my ancestry and tracing lineage and collecting things about those people, whether it's pictures or little trinkets or things about them. So about a year ago, I had gone to see my Nonna to get some Italian dual citizenship stuff done, and she goes, I have something to show you. She pulls out this little box, and in this box were all these old reels, like 8mm, and most of them were 16mm actually. One was an 8mm, and it was in a little tin, and it said Freddie and Boyce, which are my great-grandparents on my dad's side, so my dad's parents. Yeah, I knew who that was, and I recognized the handwriting, that it was my granny's handwriting. Couldn't tell what was on it because the film was extremely small. The other ones I could kind of make out like scenes, and because I had some actual pictures from these days that I was like, I think this is from that same day, but I can't really tell because it's really small, blah blah blah. I asked her, I was like, can we take these? And because Erin has some reel-to-reel players, and we could aim it at a wall and just use my digital camera and record it. And she's like, sure. So we took it home. I don't remember what happened the first time, but one of the cameras wasn't cooperating. I'm not sure. I think the bulb was out or something, but it wasn't working. So we took him back. When his parents moved, we had to go and get all of his stuff out of his old closet. We brought all the reel-to-reel players back, and my mom brought back the reels, and we were gonna try this again. The one 8mm, the player's bulb did go out this time. We ordered another one, but it wouldn't fit. I don't remember, but something was messed up with it. So regardless, the 8mm wasn't gonna get converted. He did have a couple 16mm reels, and one of them did work, one of them was not functioning at all. And just as a test, because these reels were so old, I wasn't sure about their condition. Aaron had some like cartoon reels, I guess, that came with it when he bought it. I think he bought it at an antique store. And we ran it through, and it was gonna have to go, so we'd feed it through here, and it was gonna have to go like this, 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 and then onto another reel. That's a lot of twists and turns for an old reel. So we put in this cartoon, I think it was a Woody Woodpecker reel, and it was going really fast. And then he remembered that particular player was meant for sound, and these are silent reels. Silent reels need to run at one speed, and reels with sound need to read at another. So if we were to actually run these reels through, it would either run too fast, or I think it would run too fast. And so it would look really like choppy, and it would just look bizarre. And then on top of them being so old, I wasn't comfortable putting them in the thing. I didn't know if it would get stuck, what if it ripped, what if it tore, what if it burned. Like, I just had all these questions and what ifs, and I didn't want to risk it. So I called my Nonna, and I was like, hey, this is the situation. I found a few places online we can send these. There was a company in Austin that I was talking with, possibly taking them down there, because we were gonna have to go back down to our lake house over spring break and try to finish the house, which I have an update on that, but I'll do that in another video. Not this one. So my mom was gonna take those down there. She had a friend staying at the lake house. She was gonna take those to Austin, so by the time they were done, Aaron and I would be in that area. We could go pick it up and blah, 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 blah. Really long story short, I was on the phone with the guy. He was really nice, and I really thought about using him, but I just couldn't bring myself to pay what I calculated out to be about $600 for these reels. I understand that they're very, I hate the word precious when it comes to like things like that, but that's the only word I can think of. They're not playable on a normal reel. They need to be converted. They've been sitting in one spot like this for decades. They've never been played, to my knowledge. To my Nonna's knowledge, they were never played. So I needed to send them somewhere that it would go from one reel this way to another reel. And if it wasn't gonna do that, I would much rather still send it to a professional who knew what they were doing than an amateur like me, whose thought was to aim a digital camera such as this at a white wall. I did some poking around, and there were a few places that I saw. There was iMemories, which was basically they do it by the foot also. And there was, I can't remember the other one. Then Aaron sent me a link to LegacyBox, and he said maybe we should use these guys. They have generally, you know, good reviews. I don't like to send stuff off blind. Like, I've sent my cameras off, but I've sent them to Canon where I know that, you know, it's a Canon camera. They're gonna obviously take care of my stuff. But a third party, such and such, who's gonna say they specialize in this, and yeah, they might have a good track record, but I just get a little leery and wanted to make sure that my stuff was gonna be sent to a place where people actually care about my stuff, will take care of it, will fix it if it needs fixing, get it converted, and all that jazz. So I did some poking around for about a week. My big concern was I did see some reviews where they claimed that their stuff was lost, but I also noticed that these times when things would get lost was when they would send them like right after a major holiday, so like after Christmas, right at the end of the school year or something like that. So I was like, well, maybe that has to do with it. Maybe they aren't meaning, I don't know. I don't know if they actually lost reels. I'm just saying that if it happened, that would make sense. If you send it at a high peak time when they're gonna get a bunch of stuff, you know, the likelihood of your stuff getting lost seems a little higher. But generally, all the reviews are really good. There were a few videos even on YouTube that were talking about LegacyBox and how great they were. And, you know, there were a few that were not so positive. I'm not gonna link any of them. If you want to find them on your own, you could probably type in LegacyBox review and find the ones that I'm talking about. So, what I have today is my box. And it's like this. And they sent it to me with a bunch of paper on top, like this, so it's nice and safe, and it's not gonna bounce around. And on top of all that, all the reels were intact. They kept me updated, like, hey, your stuff's getting digitized. Hey, your stuff's getting sent out. Hey, there was something wrong with one of your reels, but don't worry, we fixed it at no extra charge to you, which is super awesome. And I'm pretty sure it was my Betamax tape that I sent off. So, this isn't how they sent them, by the way. I repackaged them because they're going back to my Nonna's house. But they sent them, and on the bottom of the box, there was all the reels. And then I almost freaked out. I thought they forgot my flash drive, and I was like, great. I trusted these people, and I'm not even getting my flash drive. I was so upset for like a second, and then I realized they had taped it on the inside of the box. So don't freak out when you get your box in. So I will show you real quick what it looks like. Okay, so in here, this is how I received them from my Nonna. She put them in just trash bag. This is the bag with all the actual reels in them. These are blanks to put the new reels onto whenever I guess they were playing. So when you get your Legacy box, it's going to be empty, obviously, and inside is going to be a pamphlet with some barcodes, and you're just going to put these barcodes on the reels just anywhere that they fit, pretty much, and then you just put them in this box and ship them off, and that's that. What I did, because I didn't have a lot of, you know, lack of space, I had quite a bit of dead space. I was going to try to put them in, oh, and right here is where my flash drive was taped. It was in a little black little sleeve, and it was just hanging out right there, but that's what I get for kind of opening stuff up in dimly lighted areas. So what I did to package mine, I put them in individual Ziploc bags. I put them in freezer bags because those are super duper tough. I was gonna try to find like a soft rubber band to wrap around them, but again, because they were so old, I didn't think any rubber band was gonna be soft enough that it wasn't gonna rub and maybe tear it or warp it somehow, so I put them all in individual plastic bags. So on the bottom, I put my bubble wrap, and then I put the 7-inch reels going across the bottom, and then I put the 3-inch reels on top of that, and then in the corner, one corner, I put the 8mm, which is in that brown tin that I just showed you, and how to display your barcode on your reels that you were getting converted. And then next to that, I put the Betamax. Then I put a couple more layers of bubble wrap, and then on top of the second layer of bubble wrap, Aaron had gone to get me some thrifty nickels because they're free, and I just needed some paper, and I just crumpled them up and stuffed them until I couldn't hear anything moving around in the box, which didn't take very long because I was stuffing this thing. Sent it off, got an email whenever it arrived, got an email when they started converting, got an email when there was a problem and one of the films needed to be spliced, which means it broke in the process, and I think it was my Betamax tape because I can see like the beginning of it is a little funny looking and then it goes to like normal. So I think it was the Betamax that tore. All of them came back and they were, I had an idea of what might be on some, but I wasn't sure, and I wasn't sure who all was gonna be in these reels. And I was really surprised what was on there because these reels are from like the 40s and maybe the early 50s. So I was really surprised to see the people that I saw. So I was hoping, this was where I got a little disappointed. I was kind of hoping to see my great-great-grandfather that I am qualified for dual citizenship through. He ended up passing away in 1944, but I thought there was maybe a slim chance he might be on one of them, but he was not. However, his wife, Carmela, Mary, whatever she went by, I think she went by Mary, she was in a couple of them. Obviously my Nonna was in them because they were her reels, and then her parents, my grandma and grandpa Trombator, and then even my grandma Trombator's my grandma Trombator's parents were in there. So my great-great-grandparents were in there, like a little scene. And I'll put some of these little clips in here because I think it's just really fun. And I know you don't know who these people are, but I do. And I think this is just fun. And I had a really good experience with LegacyBox, and I want everyone else to have a good experience with LegacyBox as well. So I'm hoping that this video gives some people who are looking into getting their stuff converted into using LegacyBox. If you're worried about them losing film like some people claim they have, again, I don't know if that's true. I guess it's possible. I just wouldn't send it right after the holidays. I'd wait a few months. Maybe wait till March like I did, or even the summer. But I think the total turnaround time from me sending it off to receiving it back in the mail was maybe 2.5 weeks. I was anticipating 4 to 6 because I figured, you know, they're really busy, but they do have a gigantic establishment, and that's, you know, this is all they do is conversion. So I was surprised that I got it back as fast as I did. So without further ado, here are some clips from my LegacyBox.